So based on the discussions in my previous videos, now we will see there two types of problems. We won't solve two problems which will be done in next videos, but the two types of problems that are asked. What we have understood is that the problems on projectile can be solved by considering the motion of a projectile separately in horizontal direction and separately in vertical direction, right? That's the point which I tried to make in my previous video. Now let's say this is a typical problem which is often asked, that suppose you are told that from a height, the height is unknown, two balls are thrown simultaneously, two identical balls are thrown simultaneously at say 5 meters per second and 3 meters per second. Now and they reach the ground following this 5 meters per second will obviously reach the ground at a certain distance here, farther away than this ball. This ball will reach, let's say, follows a certain path and reaches here. Okay, so this has had 3 meters per second horizontal velocity, this was given 5 meters per second, and you are given that the distance between them after they reach the ground is 4 meters. Right? The distance between them after they reach the ground is 4 meters, and you are asked to find out this height. Okay, suppose you are asked to find out this height. So how would you proceed? So we know that both these balls will reach the ground at the same time, right? So the time required for both these balls to reach the ground is, let's say, t. Why same time? Because they are released from the same height and both of them have initial vertical velocity same, which is 0. Initial vertical velocity same, which is 0, and both of them are pulled by the same force of gravity downwards. So they will reach the ground at the same time. So let's say the time required for them to reaching the ground is t. That means this ball which is traveling, which was given horizontal velocity as 3 meters per second, in time t, the horizontal distance or its horizontal displacement or distance it travels is 3 into t. So this is 3 into t because it's constant velocity of 3 meters. This ball from this position, it travels a distance of 5 into t, right? And 5t minus 3t is 4 meters, right? So we can say 5t minus 3t is 4, that means 2t is 4, that means t is equal to 2 seconds. So both these balls will reach the ground after 2 seconds after they are thrown from this level. Now we can find out this height. We are asked to find out this height h. What is this height? So we know that, now we will consider just ball dropping down. That means a ball just coming down, right? Initially with 0 velocity. And we know that this height is equal to 5 into t square. Why? Because we have used, you can see the previous video, it's basically initial velocity 0. We are using s is equal to ut plus half at square. A is 10, g we are considering as 10. So we can say s is equal to ut plus half at square. S is this displacement which is h here, and initial vertical velocity is 0. Half a is 10 because gravitational g we are considering as 10. So 10 by 2 is 5. So 5t square. So h is 5t square. We have found out t as 2. So we can say 5 into 4t square is 20 meters. So from this distance, finding out the time from this distance between the two balls, we can find out the time for both the balls reaching the ground, which is same, and from that we can find out the height. This is one type of problem that is frequently asked. The other type of problem is the following. Suppose let's say this is a cliff and it is 45 meters. This is the ground level, and let's say a ball is, let's say there is a wall here. There is a wall here and a ball is thrown at 2 meters horizontal velocity of this ball, which is thrown from the top of the cliff, with a velocity, horizontal velocity of 2 meters per second. Okay, and suppose this ball is reaching somewhere here. Okay, it's reaching somewhere here. So what is the time it takes to reach the ground? Again, we know that time this is given by 45 is equal to 5 into t square. H is equal to 5t square, right? So we can say here t square is equal to 9 and t is equal to 3 seconds. So this ball will reach the ground in 3 seconds. Okay, now let's say that we throw a ball with higher velocity. Let's say that we throw the ball at say 2.5 meters per second. Another ball is thrown at 2.5 meters per second. In that case, this ball will reach somewhere here, let's say. Higher velocity, it will reach here. Okay, but it will also take the same time 3 seconds, because that is also thrown, which is also thrown from the same level. Its horizontal velocity is different, so it has moved ahead, but vertical travel, the time it takes to reach the ground is going to be same, right? Let's increase the velocity and let's say that we throw this ball at say now 3 meters per second. Okay, we are throwing this ball at 3 meters per second. Okay, by the way, before that, doing that, see if this is taking 3 seconds, so what is this distance? The distance will, because this first ball was thrown at 2 meters per second, this distance is going to be, horizontal velocity is 2 meters per second, the time it has taken is 3 seconds, so this distance is 6 meters. Okay, now we are throwing the ball, let's say at 3 meters per second, and this ball is just touching this wall. Okay, it reaches the ball, reaches the wall and touches the just the bottom of this wall. Okay, so this is also going to take time equal to 3 seconds, and but this distance, horizontal distance it has traveled is going to be, it's traveling at a velocity, horizontal velocity which is constant at 3 meters per second. Time required is 3 seconds, so this distance is 9 meter. 3 into 3 is 9 meter. Now suppose we increase the velocity and throw the ball with higher velocity. Let's say we throw the ball at say 4 meters, or let's say we say 5 meters per second. We will say it's, let's say 5 meters per second. Okay, we throw the ball at 5 meters per second. So what will happen? Now the ball will hit the wall, right? It's hit somewhere here, and it is going to hit the ball not in 3 seconds but less than 3 seconds. Why? Because the time 3 seconds is required for the ball to reach the ground, but this ball is stopped before it reaches the ground. Suppose there were no ball, this ball would have reached the ground and the time for it to reach here would have been 3 seconds. But now because it is stopped here, the time is less than 3 seconds. It will be some time t which is less than 3 seconds. Okay, some time t which is less than 3 seconds. So now if you are asked to find out this t, how will you proceed? Okay, right? You are asked to find out the time required, which is going to be less than 3 seconds, but you want to find out this, and maybe you want to also find out this height, right? This height at which the ball is hitting the wall. So how will you proceed? To proceed here, we should remember that although the ball has not reached the ground and hence the time required for it to reach the wall is less than 3 seconds, it has already traveled this distance, and this distance is 9 meters. Okay, it has already traveled 9 meters. So from that, you know the velocity, which is 5 meters per second, and you know the distance traveled, right, which is 9 meters. So 9 meters by 5 meters per second will give you time. And once you get time, you can, so that time is available, and once you get time, you can find out this height by again this height is equal to 5 into t square, right? 5 into t square. So when the ball doesn't go beyond the wall, it doesn't reach the bottom, it doesn't reach the ground, then the time required will be less than 3 seconds. That time can be calculated, and from that we can find out this height. because you know the height is equal to phi into t square, right? Okay, so these are the two types of problems which are generally asked. Thank you.